The Bulls' offer that they have made to Josh Giddey has just been leaked to the public as negotiations continue between both sides as the Chicago Bulls try to keep Josh Giddey around long term, with contract average annual value being somewhere around another player who's similar, while the Warriors do continue to hold interest in Josh Giddey. And we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bulls Digest. If you guys are part of that percentage that is not subscribed to Bulls Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily Chicago Bulls updates. There's a lot going on with the Bulls right now with Josh Giddey currently and this whole saga. And then we are going to be jumping right in to training camp and preseason. We're gonna have so much good content for you guys you do not want to miss out on. So make sure you subscribe, have those post notifications on, and let's talk about the Chicago Bulls because their offer for Josh Giddey has been leaked. We have a massive update on the Josh Giddey front. As we know, this has been one of the biggest storylines, really the biggest storyline surrounding the Chicago Bulls all offseason. Yes, they traded Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro. That was a big deal when it happened as well. But right now, what we're looking at is a world where we try to figure out what's next for Josh Giddey, who had the best season of any player outside of maybe Kobe White with the Chicago Bulls, who was there on both Games 1 and Game 82. Obviously, Zach Lavine got traded halfway through the season as well. That plays an impact, or has an impact in things. But since then, Giddy absolutely was lighting up. He wants a big contract, and the Chicago Bulls offered him 4 years, $80 million. Now, this is a very interesting deal that we look at right now because part of it does make some sense. Right now, Josh Giddey is one of the 4 restricted free agents left, and he's probably the best player out of all of them. But here's the issue at hand. Since he's restricted and no team has cap space, he can't get some offer from somewhere else trying to force the Bulls' hand to match as he gets overpaid while a team tries to essentially poison the Bulls' salary situation. And with that all in mind, Josh Giddey still believes that he holds the leverage because he can take that qualifying offer and then move on from there. Now, the Bulls, meanwhile, they believe very heavily that Josh Giddey is a future part of this team, but do not want to pay him like an all-star player because they don't believe he is an all-star. An average annual value of $20 million per year, if the Bulls can pull that off, if Arturas Karnisovas and the front office can pull that off, that is an excellent deal for Giddy. I'm very high on Josh Giddey, and I do think he's got another jump incoming, and that he is going to become an all-star player with the Bulls, which is absolutely great. But the Bulls have to make sure to not strain their relationship with Giddy and also try to not overpay him. And it is a tough sort of situation to navigate right now, as it is very important that the Bulls do this the right way and save money for next offseason when they can also have at least one max spot open, so they can try to go big fish hunting after hopefully having a bit of a reset year where they can get a high pick and use that money for some sort of good, whether it's signing someone or eating contracts to get young players, something along those lines, eating contracts for picks. Everything across those kind of situations is really what we're looking at and what matters here. Now, Josh Giddey last year had a very good season. He put up 14.6 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists a night, shooting 46% from the field and 38% from 3. Now, meanwhile, at the same time, you look at a guy like Austin Reeves, who put up similar numbers and is looking for a similar, or did get a similar contract that he got from the Lakers. Now, there's a lot of conflicting opinions. Who's better, Austin Reeves, Josh Giddey? I think they're both better at their own specific roles that they play right now. Giddey can't do the role that Reeves is doing, and Reeves can't exactly do the role that Giddey is doing because Reeves is not a point guard. He is more of a 2. So with that in mind, what you do have to look at is that Austin Reeves is sort of a good benchmark, considering he was in a very similar situation last year. It's also crazy to think that Austin Reeves is already 27 years old. Where is time going? Now, meanwhile, Jalen Williams also didn't put up unsimilar numbers, now albeit better, and he's an excellent defender. Shot exactly the same as Giddey from really the field and three-point range when you look at it. But on top of that, he's one of the best stop-ball defenders in basketball and, of course, is an NBA champion and was one of the best players on the Thunder team that won the championship. Williams is someone who's now getting paid one of the biggest contracts in the NBA, a contract that's widely regarded as sort of an overpay, but a necessary overpay because you do have to keep him around. Now, considering everything, the Warriors also do have interest in Josh Giddey, and as Real GM mentioned, Chicago's initial offer to Giddey was for $80 million over 4 years. The Bulls remain anchored to that $20 million average annual value figure. Rival NBA teams have had interest in Giddey, but only the Brooklyn Nets currently had the cap space to do so and make him a significant offer. Other teams had interest in Giddey or have interest in Giddey via sign and trade deals, but the Bulls have been reluctant to engage in any of those talks. Other NBA teams have indicated that it's difficult to talk trades with Chicago because it's unclear if the Bulls are looking to move veteran players or add them to their team. So, as per usual, what we're seeing right now out of this is that Arturas does not know what he wants to do, and by that I mean he does, but he's So he wants to tank. It's clear. Obviously he does. But ownership doesn't want to tank. They don't. Ever since Michael Jordan showed up, there's been a no tanking rule with this team. There were 6 championships in the 90s. There's been nothing since. There hasn't even been a finals appearance. So getting the Bulls back to fruition is going to be a difficult task. But it is going to have to come with a year of a rebuild, if anything. But you need to keep Josh Giddey around. Great players don't come around often, and Josh Giddey is the best player going into next season on the Bulls. If you ask me, it's him and Kobe White. It's a very nice, entertaining backcourt that if you keep White on for the foreseeable future, you have something to build off of. You still need that star, and maybe Buzelis can become that guy. But up until this point, what we're seeing is Josh Giddey really be the best player on this team. I mean, final 20 games of the season, the man was downright unbelievable. Put up 21.4 points per game. 11 rebounds and 9 assists a night, getting a steal and a half per game, shooting 44% from 3 and 40 or really 50% from the field as well. Josh Giddey had an awesome end to this season and showed that he is worth a good penny, and I think he's worth more than $20 million per year. Now, again, if you could pull that off, that's excellent. The Bulls do have some leverage. Because Giddey probably doesn't want to accept that qualifying offer, it makes things tough. Yes, he'll be an unrestricted free agent next year when there's going to be a lot of teams that can offer a lot of money, and they're going to be a lot better than the Bulls, which will give Giddey some interest. So the Bulls do have to make sure to lock Giddey up so he doesn't do that, but it's tough to take that qualifying offer and turn down a long-term contract, considering if you have a bad year or injuries and your entire career gets derailed off it, you will not have a safety net to fall back on when it comes to being paid, and you'll be screwed. So I do think a deal is going to get done between the Bulls and Giddey. I do expect one to happen, and right now, HoopsHype did list Josh Giddey as the 15th best point guard in the NBA. Putting guys in order, I'm just going to run through it because you can see it, but it's a little small on the screen. Shea, Luka, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Steph Curry, Trae Young, James Harden, Ja Morant, De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Maxey, Derek White, Darius Garland, Jamal Murray, and LaMelo Ball above Giddey. So as good as Giddey is, it's not like he's a league-breaking point guard, but that all can change through one season, especially when he's going to be the focal point of this team next season. He's going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to be dominating. He's going to be the feature player for the Chicago Bulls. And with that in mind, well, as long as he's there, and with that in mind, it is something to seriously understand that you do have to try to find a way to make this all work out and make it all make sense from that perspective, too. Now, Brett Sigel did say from Friday to Josh Giddey's restricted free agency situation, the Bulls were not willing to pass $20 million a year in an offer. The contract they offered makes the most sense for both parties. So it comes down to, is Giddey going to be willing to accept that deal? And according to reporter Alan Stiles, there's growing belief around the league that the Sacramento Kings could also be in the mix for Josh Giddey, as they're trying to get every Chicago Bull possible because they saw how well that worked out last time. But when it comes to Giddey, he is someone who does have interest around other teams. Teams are going to be interested in Josh Giddey, a guy who just finished the season with 21 points per game and basically a 21-point triple-double, 1 assist shy of it. And it's not like the Bulls have the greatest scoring on the world. Obviously, Vooch and Kobe White are solid players, don't get me wrong, but still, it's not like he's set up for a ton of assists exactly with the Bulls. So we do have to consider that as well, but I do think that the Bulls should be at least willing to go up to 22.5 per year. I do think that's a good number to get Giddey on, and then you sign him to a 4 or 5 year deal. Honestly, I kind of love that. I think Giddey's going to grow again. He's only 23 years old. He's very, very young still, and he's got a lot of room. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day. I'll catch you on the next one.